Hi there, this is David, and welcome to my impressions of XENOBLADE Chronicles 3. The other day I streamed the game over on the Twitch, and what you're seeing here are clips of that exact footage. So do say hello to Twitchy me, and hello to this wonderful game, as I give you my honest first impressions. For the stream, I played through the first 2 hours, so admittedly I haven't seen everything, but worry not. A full review will be forthcoming whenever I do complete the game. Opening with a bevy of cutscenes which serve to explain the world that you inhabit, you're introduced to a group of ragtag children training for combat. Noah, the main character, Uni, a high Entia gunner, Lons, a sentinel, as well as Yopan, a healer who then meets a tragic end. Yopan's sacrifice is the catalyst that drives the story along, and changes Noah into the man that he is today, a sender, who, similar to Final Fantasy X's Yuna, sends fallen soldiers off to their final resting place. Ionis is ruled over by a queen, and each person's lifespan lasts roughly 10 years, which is fully consumed with battle from the moment that they're born to the moment that they die. All that they know is fighting. Battle between Agnes and Kieves is ongoing and their sole reason for existence. And although you see the characters as children and you do relive their trauma, you thankfully don't have to play as them. Instead, you are mature adults with relatable backstories and problems. One scene very early on takes place in the bathhouse, and it was so refreshing to see that it did not involve men spying on women, or girls talking about their boob sizes, or some girls slapping a guy and calling him a pervert. Instead, they all bathed together and chatted like well-adjusted adults should. After the copious amounts of cutscenes, you're given control and thrust right into battle, which is thankfully simple. As they say, less is more, and the developers really took that in stride. Gone are the overwhelming complexity of the previous game's battle systems. Gone is the convoluted equipment systems, and gone is the stupid gacha blade system. Everything that was needlessly bloated has been pared down so you can just run right into it, guns blazing, and not have to worry about learning yet another stupidly complex battle system. You just go on in, draw your sword, and let the auto-attacking begin so you can focus on the things that actually matter, like positioning and arts, which you use with the press of a button. Arts work on a cooldown timer, and you're encouraged to think about your positioning in the battlefield, because various attacks will deal more damage or inflict status ailments based upon where you strike your foe, such as backstabbing or sideswiping them. It also behooves you to position yourself within the rings on the battlefield. As a sentinel, Lons has a blue ring around him, and if you stand within that ring, you're going to take less damage. Uni can cast a regeneration spell, and if you stand within her green ring, you're going to regenerate HP. And then there's also the yellow buffing ring, which increases your attack power, so positioning is paramount. Then there's the flame clock, which slowly decreases over time, but increases as you defeat more enemies. The more monsters that you kill, the more the flame clock will buff you, which could really help out with any kind of grind or a particularly hard boss fight. Enemies appear as one of 4 types. The normal, everyday, average ones. The unique ones, well, you'll need a strategy in order to defeat them. The exotic ones, which are much more formidable. Or my favorite, the lucky ones, which sparkle and have the exact same power as a normal enemy, but they give much better rewards. Also, in your travels, you're going to encounter skirmishes. Run on over and select a side, and if you win, you're going to get extra experience and gold, as well as increased affinity from the winning side. It's just yet another fun thing to accomplish in the field. Exploration has been streamlined as well. The areas are massive, but at the same time, they are filled with things, from treasures to secret areas to rare monsters, collectibles, and quests. Landmarks grant experience, and they double as fast travel and revival points. And there's sparklies strewn all over the landscape as well. You know how in some games you have to stop and gather at the sparklies constantly? Not here. You just run on through and you automatically grab them. It's so nice to not have to stop every 5 seconds. And if you're one of those people that needs to collect every little tiny thing, this is the game that's going to break that habit, because you'll never get anywhere. There's just so much stuff out there to grab. With all that's out there to find, it's nice that the developers put in some quality of life improvements. such as an on-screen objective indicator, as well as a quest indicator, which not only tells you where the quests are, but also shows where the monsters are that you need to fight, or the items are located that you need to find in order to complete the quests. It takes the guesswork right out of it. And if you do get off the beaten track and forget where to go, you can always set a guide, and then you'll be presented with a little line to follow straight to your next objective. And while you're out getting those sparklies, you don't have to go back to the quest giver to turn them in. Another great improvement is just turning the quests in straight from the menu. You fill up that Collectopedia, check the menu, and you get your reward right then and there. While out in the field, you'll also encounter some fallen soldiers. As a sender, Noah can stop, play his flute, and send them off to rest. In doing so, you'll not only get experience, but also affinity with the colonies that the slain was from. You can also gather affinity in towns just by talking to the starred people or completing quests, and the more affinity that you have, the more the shop selection will increase, as well as the quest quality that you can receive in towns. The areas are vast and a joy to explore. Painstaking detail went into ensuring that every nook and cranny looks as good as humanly possible. I know that I've read some articles stating that the game is held back by the Switch's hardware, but I didn't think so. I thought that it looked absolutely beautiful. But, on the same note, graphics are something that normally doesn't really faze me. I mean, one of my favorite games of all time is Final Fantasy Legend 2 back on the original Game Boy. So as long as the game has good gameplay and is fun, I can enjoy it. I've never been one to obsess or whine over graphics, so I do think that it looks perfectly fine. In the same way that the first Xenoblade revitalized the genre back on the Wii, I feel like this is a return to form. Unneeded complexities from the prior games have been banished, dumb anime tropes are similarly gone, and we have an adult cast of characters with a simple yet fluid battle system. I think that the last time that I had this much fun with a JRPG was probably Tales of Arise. So, that's it for my impressions of Xenoblade Chronicles 3. How did you feel about it? Let me know in the comments. And if you like this video and what I do here on the channel, please consider supporting me over on Patreon for exclusive videos and early access to my content, heading on over to Twitch for streaming fun, or coming over to my Discord to chat and hang out. The links to them all can be found in the video description. This has been David. If you like this, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.